Today on Law Weekly, we put our spotlight on issues of gender-based violence. We speak with the coordinator of the Lagos State Domestic and Sexual Violence Response Team, Titilola Vivour-Adeniyi. We also have our usual recap of some of the top trending stories from the courts. Hello and welcome to Law Weekly on Channels Television. I am Shola Sheyeli. It's difficult to watch or read the news these days without coming across issues of gender-based violence. It has assumed an alarming and very worrisome level, so much so that 2 years ago, the Lagos State government set up the Domestic and Sexual Violence Response Team. The team is a collection of professional service providers and officials who respond essentially as a group to the various needs of domestic and sexual victims. Its membership is drawn from relevant state ministries of justice, health, education, women affairs, some non-governmental organizations, the Nigerian police, and the media. Channels TV is a media partner of the Lagos State Domestic and Sexual Violence Response Team. Well, as part of its objectives, the team last week organized an all-male walk aimed at condemning rape, domestic violence, child abuse, and all such sexual offenses. We have details in this next report.
A large portion of work on the response to domestic and sexual violence has been directed at women and girls. Less attention has been placed on men.
This is how the all-male walk was flagged off at the popular Ikeja Underbridge in Lagos. The Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice, Mr. Adeniji Kazeem, who is the chairman of the Domestic and Sexual Violence Response Team of the Lagos State Government, is leading the walk, alongside some other members of the State Executive Council, members of the State House of Assembly, key government officials, entertainers, youths, artisans, and many others. Promoting positive masculinity is the message of this walk, which is geared towards changing the narrative by purposefully engaging men whose statistics show are most often the perpetrators of these heinous crimes. And so the group walked through the streets of the often busy Awolowo Road in the heart of Ikeja to the Lagos House in Alausa.
Say no to domestic violence. Say no to gender violence. Say no to sexual abuse. Say no to child abuse. Don't rape your daughters. Don't rape your sisters. Don't rape your nieces. Don't rape your house girls. Every woman has the right to protect her dignity.
At the Government House, Governor Akinwumi Ambode received the group. In his address, he promised to make the state uncomfortable for perpetrators of gender-based violence.
Women are significantly more prone to being victims of these crimes. Yes, sir. There is also an evident trend of suppressing the voice of these victims due to the fact that these acts are perpetrated largely by men. We should not take for granted the potential exponential effect of having emotionally and psychologically damaged women in our society, as the effect could transcend to our children who grew up in an environment thinking this is the norm. While several programs ranging from the provision of legal aid, shelter, and psychological counseling services have been designed to assist these women, the state government has realized that while these are essential to eradicate sexual and gender-based violence, we must address the violent behavior of men when it comes to rape, domestic violence, and child abuse. The scale of men's violence against women is enormous, and its effects demoralizing. We men as grandfathers, fathers, brothers, sons, husbands, and public advocates have a pivotal role to play in condemning all forms of violence against women, girls, and boys. We firmly believe that the way forward is to continuously engage the male folk as well as the community as a whole. Community engagement is an essential part of working to prevent and respond to all forms of gender-based violence. As men, we must stand up and speak in one voice, condemning these acts. No more will we condone or tolerate pedophiles, women beaters, and rapists. It is inhuman and totally unacceptable. We must protect, and then we must not ignore this behavior of some of us when we see it manifesting in our environment. I therefore commend you all for your participation in the first ever all-male walk against sexual and gender-based violence in Lagos State.
Thank you.
And I charge you all to remain ambassadors and flag bearers in the fight against domestic and sexual violence. The conversation must be sustained in our workplaces, religious institutions, residential areas, and even the social media and everywhere. If we all join hands and speak against this, we can truly make Lagos uncomfortable for perpetrators of these crimes. I'd like you to join hands with me, and as we all join hands to say no to rapists, to say no to women beaters, and wherever they are, we know that the task force that were set up, you should quickly just, whatever it means we can get across to anywhere, anyhow, to us. We want the first 11 scapegoats, whether they're highly placed in the society or they're lowly placed, we say no to domestic violence.
After his address, the governor joins the walk, and at the gate of the government house, he bid the group farewell and returned to his office. The Lagos State Domestic and Sexual Violence Response Team says it will keep on with its awareness program. In its 2 years of existence, the team has facilitated the ratification of the executive order that established the Sex Offenders Register and mandated reporting policy. It has trained over 800 mandated reporters, many of whom are employees of the state government that have dealings with children, on how to detect signs of child abuse and steps to take in reporting such cases. The team has also empowered over 3,000 school children and youth corps members through its rape prevention workshops on self-defense, how to avoid being a victim of sexual abuse, and how to preserve evidence when physically or sexually assaulted. Over 300 police officers have also been trained on various aspects of improvement on cases regarding sexual and gender-based violence.